She started talking to her, but it's boozy. Shower is getting really low.
Okay, I'll order another one. Hey guys. So, I thought I would come on and chit chat with you guys because I said I would earlier, but I didn't make the noon chit chat. So, here I am for this chit chat. So, come on in. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. For those of you guys that don't know, what's up? My name is Nicole Pludre. I'm a person in long-term recovery. I have been sober for 9 years. And I love talking about drugs, addiction, recovery, and so much freaking more. Yesterday I went live and we did some makeup, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed doing that with you guys yesterday. And a couple of you guys asked me if I do like makeup tutorials. I mean, I just do my makeup on live and you guys can watch me do it, but I don't like do tutorial style videos or anything like that. Whenever I first started making content back in 2016, I started making content after watching a bunch of YouTube videos with girls that do makeup. And that's what really inspired me to start making my own content and sharing my own story. Was I was seeing a bunch of girls on YouTube sharing their stories and doing their makeup, and I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fun to share my story? So, but I'm not like a professional makeup artist or nothing like that. I'm just a regular girl and I like to talk. So, you're stuck with me. I'm a regular girl and I like to talk, so I come on here and I just be talking. For those of you guys that don't know, I have a little small recovery business that, first you need to know that part of my recovery story is I tried to get sober for over 10 years and I was in and out of rehabs. I was in and out of detox, rehab, outpatient, sober livings, relapse, detox, rehab, outpatient, sober living, 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 relapse. Okay? It was like a fucking circle jerk. And when I lost custody of my son in 2015, it was like, if I don't get sober this time and stay sober, they're going to terminate my rights. Okay? I got in trouble. They caught me using drugs inside treatment. It was like, this is your last chance. You either get your shit together now or we're going to terminate your rights. And I just could not afford to lose custody of my son. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. He's literally the reason why I'm alive today. Hey, Denise. He's like literally the reason why I'm breathing air. Okay? So, when they gave me that ultimatum, I knew that I had to do something different. And I sat down with my husband's doctor, and the doctor said to me, why do you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? And he said it in regards to going to treatment over and over and over again, expecting to stay sober, because every time I would get out of treatment, I would relapse at about the 6-month mark. And so I told him, I said, the reason why I keep doing it is because there's no other way. I have never been given another option. It's either abstinence and AA and NA or nothing at all. And so when me and my husband got sober, my husband had been on medication-assisted treatment before we met. He had been on methadone before I met him, and he was also on suboxone before I met him. And so he had like a lot of experience with it. So when he got sober, he knew right away that he was going to utilize suboxone on his journey. But I didn't, because I had never used it. So when I got out of treatment, my husband was on suboxone and I was abstinent. Okay? So, hey y'all. Hey Cassie. Hey Lindsay. No problem. I'm 100% always be really honest about my recovery journey and everything I do in my recovery journey. So when I got out of treatment, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to be abstinent because that's what they had always told me I needed to be, right? There was no other way to be. I was never given another option. That's why I kept failing at recovery, because abstinence it does not work for me. At least it didn't back then. Now that I've been sober for a really long time and I haven't been so far removed from that lifestyle, I do believe if I tried to stop taking Suboxone or get off of it or taper off of it or utilize Sublocade, I do believe I could stay sober without it today. I just choose to utilize it because it helps make my life easier. I'm going to be so fucking honest with you guys. It makes my life easier. I feel safer when I'm on this medication, you know? So when I got out of treatment, Neil was on Suboxone and I was completely abstinent, okay? And I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And that's what I was doing. I was staying sober and I was going to meetings. I was calling my sponsor, but I was struggling. I was really triggered. I wanted to use drugs so bad. And I was looking at my husband and he wasn't struggling like I was. He wasn't having all these triggers like I was. He wasn't like wanting to go out and get high like I wanted to. And that made me jealous. You know, it made me jealous. I felt like he just wasn't struggling like I was. And so he was like, why don't you try Suboxone? And so he made an appointment with me with his doctor, and we went down and we talked to the doctor, and that's when the doctor looked at me and he said, if you keep on relapsing every time that you get sober, why haven't you ever tried anything different? And I was like, because I never was told that there was any. I was always told that if I utilized medication-assisted treatment, Suboxone or methadone, that I was just trading one addiction for the other. And I believed that wholeheartedly for many years. Let me share with you why that is not true and why I don't believe that today. Today, Nicole's 9 years sober that takes medication-assisted treatment. Nicole that you're talking to right now, not even comparable to Nicole in active addiction. So to say that I traded addictions is not even, it doesn't even compute. It doesn't even plug into the same outlet, okay? Nicole in active addiction lost custody of her son. Nicole in active recovery on Matt has custody of her son. Nicole in active addiction was a hoochie mama, okay? I'm talking like I would cheat on my man, do all kinds of scandalous ass shit. Nicole in recovery on Matt is faithful and dependable and trustworthy. Nicole in active addiction couldn't keep a job. You know, I would get jobs and lose them over and over and over again. Nicole in active recovery on medication-assisted treatment has had the same job for over 5 years. Okay, I hope you guys see where I'm going with this. So, sure, I could have gotten on Suboxone and carried on my addiction behaviors. I absolutely could. And many people do. Many people get on medication-assisted treatment and they don't change their life. They don't change their behaviors. They continue abusing the medication. They use the medication to get high. And let me just say this. If somebody's doing that, I would rather them do that than to be on street drugs and potentially die from an overdose. So that's where this comes into harm reduction as well. Okay? But when I got on medication-assisted treatment, I treated it like a mental health medication, like a medication that went along with something else. Okay? I did not get on suboxone and just assume that my life was going to be better. I got on suboxone and I got into therapy. And I was going to therapy. I seen a therapist once a week, almost every week at the beginning. Then it went to bi-weekly. Then it went to monthly. And so I combined medication-assisted treatment with intensive therapy, outpatient treatment, recovery support. Okay? And that's, I think, a really important part of medication-assisted treatment. Whenever you're utilizing a medication in your recovery, it's important that you have supportive services around that, because it is easy to fall into the trap of abusing your medication, especially if you're a drug addict. Okay? Duh. When I first got on suboxone, my first initial reaction was to overtake it. I thought, oh, if I take more, it'll make me feel better. This is why suboxone is so amazing and why I am such a big advocate for it. Suboxone is a partial opioid agonist. Once you get on suboxone and it builds up in your system, you don't get a high from it. There's no euphoria from it, okay? It's literally, and I know you guys will be able to say this, those of you guys that are on suboxone, it's literally like taking your daily vitamin in the morning. Once you get on a stabilized dose, it's just like, it's just a regular. It's literally like taking a vitamin. And so when I first started taking suboxone, I was like, oh, I can get fucked up still. I'm going to overtake my medication. And I'm being so transparent with you guys. Okay? I'm a drug addict. Duh. Okay? And so I was overtaking it. And then guess what happened? I wasn't getting high. What the fuck is this shit? This shit don't work. This shit's broken. Am I broken? Well, I can't get high. You know? Then I was running out of my medication early. So I had to call my doctor and be honest. I had to say, hey, doc, I was trying to abuse my meds and it didn't work. And that's when he sat me down and he was like, you don't even know how Suboxone works. Let me tell you about how the medication-assisted treatment, Suboxone specifically. I'm specifically talking about Suboxone, you guys, okay? Other medications you can take more of and get a feeling from it, okay? But Suboxone, that's the beauty of it, and that's why I love it so much. It reaches a ceiling effect in your brain, and it's like a plateau. It goes like this, and then like this, and this is how I am. Straight across all the time. So when I went to my doctor, and this is 9 years ago, I said to my doctor, I thought, if I took more, it would make me feel better. And he's like, no, that's not how this medication works. It literally is developed to reach a ceiling effect in your system and for you to be at a level baseline. And so when I learned that, and I realized I learned that I couldn't just abuse my medication, right? Then I started wanting to be sober, and I'm being very, very honest with you guys. People will go through this in the beginning when they first get on medication-assisted treatment. It's a normal drug addict reaction, to try and cut corners or hustle our way through, right? I was just doing what I'd always done. But as I stayed on the medication longer, and as I started going to therapy, as I started being honest with my doctor and telling him what I was doing, then guess what? Then I started changing. My behavior started changing. I started not wanting to cut corners. I started not wanting to overtake my medication. I didn't want to escape my reality. I didn't want to feel differently. I wanted to feel my feelings and experience life, But it didn't happen overnight for me. It took time for me to get to that point in my life. And that's why medication-assisted treatment is so amazing. Because it enables a person who is a junkie. I was a junkie, okay? I was shooting up meth, cocaine, opioids, like every day. I was such a bad drug addict that I couldn't shoot up in my arms, so I would have to stand in the mirror and squeeze my boob like this so I could shoot up in the veins of my breasts. Okay, I'm being very graphic with you guys because I'm trying to explain to you how serious, okay? I was desperate. My husband was such a junkie that he would shoot up in his groin because he would blow his arms out. Okay, he couldn't shoot up in his arms anymore, so he would have to shoot up in the groin, in the crevice where his is at, okay? Because he couldn't hit his arms anymore. Like, we were very bad off, okay? And so for a person, I want you to imagine medication-assisted treatment, suboxone, methadone, Sublocade, as a bridge, okay? It's like a bridge connecting that person to a better life. And then as they change their life and as they grow in their recovery, that bridge, instead of it just being like a little rickety bridge that's hanging by some ropes, you know, it turns into a bridge that has pillars and support and cement and like a permanent fixture, you know, to connect that person to that better lifestyle. A lot of people always ask me, and I talked about this yesterday, they say, you've been on Suboxone for 9 years. Why are you still taking Suboxone? And I used this analogy yesterday, and I'll share it with you guys today. Would you go to somebody who is struggling with mental health disorders, right? Schizophrenia is a great example, okay? Somebody who is on a medication and they have not experienced any hallucinations, auditory or visual hallucinations. You know, a symptom of schizophrenia is psychosis, hallucinations, auditory and visual hallucinations, okay? Would you go to that person and say to them, oh my gosh, you've been on your medication for 9 years now and you haven't had any psychosis, no hallucinations in 9 years. When are you going to get off that medication? You would never say that to somebody that struggles with a mental health disorder like schizophrenia. So why would you say it to somebody that's struggling with a mental health disorder like substance use disorder, okay? And so, to me, if it's not broke, don't fix it. This is working for me right now. I feel very good still. I don't feel any negative consequences from the medication. I was on 12 milligrams when I first started my recovery journey. I'm very, very much lower than that now, like under half of a milligram now. And when I was on a higher dose, I did experience constipation, sweating, lethargy, and that's why I tapered down lower. And now that I'm at a lower dose, I have all the positive benefits from it with none of the negative side effects. And so that works for me. As long as it stays working for me, I'm going to continue to utilize it. If there's ever a time, hey Jared, what's up, man? If there's ever a time where I feel like the medication is no longer conducive or a positive part of my life, I would discontinue it. I would taper off of it and discontinue the medication. I'm coming up, I'm 9 years sober. And you know, I just turned 9 years sober. This Saturday will be my official 9 years. I keep thinking in my mind when I hit the 10-year mark that I probably, in my mind, I think I want to get on Sublocade, which is the injection. And once I get on Sublocade, I can stop taking Suboxone totally and just utilize Sublocade. And then when I'm done with Sublocade, I can just walk off of it. That's my plan for the future. But I'm not in a hurry at all. And I really want people who watch my content to understand that if you're on Suboxone, there's no rush. There's no rush for you to get off of it. There's no rush for you to taper. I used to let people's opinions of me being on this medication like affect me. And in 2021, I had gotten so much hate. So many people were telling me I wasn't sober. So many people were telling me I wasn't in recovery that I tried to jump off Suboxone in 2021 without properly tapering. And I failed. I failed. And I could have relapsed. I could have really fucked my shit up. I didn't, but I could have. And so instead of like letting people's opinions affect me, I don't listen to what other people say anymore. Okay? I really just focus on staying the course, doing the right thing, just trying to share and help other people. I said yesterday I should have kept my opinion to myself. I love you and I wouldn't want you to go back for nothing in this world. Oh, Leah, I did not take your comment in a negative way at all. You framed it very kindly. And I totally agree with you. I am on such a low dose that I do believe that I could be off of the medication and totally be fine, right? But then there's this guy, it's like a salt grain, okay? It's like the tiniest little salt grain of doubt that I have in myself. And that's why I keep on the medication. Because to me, being on this medication is like having full coverage insurance on your car. To me, being on suboxone is like, it's an insurance policy on my sobriety. If I was to fall, I have suboxone to catch me. Do you know what I'm saying? And to help me. And so, that's how I look at it. I used to feel a lot of deep shame because I chose to be on suboxone. I used to feel ashamed, and I want you guys to understand that the reason why I felt this, and you might feel this, is because we have only been taught one way to recover. Yes, I am in therapy, and I will be in therapy for the rest of my life. We've only been taught one way to recover, okay? All the years, hundreds of years, okay? We have been taught that 12-step abstinent-only recovery is the only recovery, okay? Only within the last 10 years has MAT recovery really been able to come to the forefront and shine. And it's because of the horrible opioid epidemic that we have experienced and the millions of people that are dying from fentanyl overdoses. It was a desperation. People realized that they had to start accepting MAT because people were dying. People are dying. Okay? And so it's kind of like this. You know, there's Baptist, there's Catholic, there's Pentecostal, there is non-denominational, there's LDS, right? These are all different types of like religions, right? Well, just like there's different types of religions, there's different types of recoveries. And what I believe for my recovery might not be something that you believe for your recovery. But I believe that we all pretty much have a baseline belief system, which is we want to have a positive impact on our lives. We want to recover what we lost in our active drug use, right? We want to turn our lives around from what it was when we were actively using. Paco wants to be on film today. He's over here rubbing his butt up against my leg, trying to get me to pick him up because he wants attention. So,
does.
Yeah, Paco's the one. Look who's up there being a good boy.
Okay.
I'm on a low dose, been on it for years, but I just can't give up. The little dose is so low that I don't feel it. I need it, but I do, if that makes sense. No, Brittany, it makes total sense. Total sense. You know, I wish I would have found suboxone 10 years earlier. Then I wouldn't have spent 20 years in hell. Leah, yes. I'm so glad you said that. And that's how I kind of feel about my situation. I spent 10 years going through the rehab circle jerk of, you know, detox, rehab, sober living, outpatient, relapse. Detox, rehab, outpatient, sober. Oh, check those damn eggs. I do this shit all the time, y'all. I be cooking shit, then forget about it. Oh, God dang it. I was just cooking boiled eggs. They're done.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I was wondering, I was like, it smelled like
oh, Lord.
noodles.
Thank God they didn't pop.
Water.
I have cooked eggs before and blew them up, y'all, because I fucking forgot about them. It's y'all's fault. It's all y'all's fault. Anyway, Neil saved the day. But that's kind of how I feel about myself, is like, if I had known about medication-assisted treatment, I wouldn't have spent 10 years going in and out of rehab, relapsing over and over and over again. But we weren't told about it back then. it wasn't even offered to people back then. It was really, honestly, a lot of the treatment centers looked down on it because a lot of these treatment centers are still only pushing abstinence. And like, honestly, you really have to ask yourself this question: why are these treatment centers only pushing abstinence if they are seeing that it's not working? If they see that people are not being able to maintain it, why are they pushing it? You know? Hey Becky, what's up? And that's what I like. To me, it's kind of like, well, they do that because it makes, exactly, Leah, that's what I believe. I believe only promoting abstinence brings them more money because more people are failing and relapsing and coming through the system over and over again. And like I said yesterday, at the end of the day, the treatment industry is a multi-million-dollar industry. Okay? Big pharma, I'm on medication. I'm on multiple medications. I'm on semaglutide for my weight loss and my diabetes, right? I'm on blood pressure medications. Like, at the end of the day, everything is a business and money is being made somehow, right? But I just feel like, drug addicts and alcoholics aren't given, or at least they weren't. It's changing little by little. In the past, we weren't given multiple options. It was like, you get sober through abstinence and 12-step, or you don't get sober. And if you didn't want to do 12-step back in the day, you were shunned and ostracized because those were the only kind of recovery groups that were out there. And so if you didn't believe in a higher power and you didn't feel comfortable in AA or NA, you didn't have anywhere to go. Oh, it makes me so upset. Honestly, it makes me so upset. I just feel like I wasted so many years trying to fit into this like box that was just not meant for me, you know. And there's other creators like myself who are like speaking about this. My friend Tara, she makes content about this very thing. My friend Sarah makes content about this. My friend Macaulay makes content about this. Like there's it's not a lot of us. Ronnie, I had him on my channel a couple of months ago. Y'all saw Ronnie Morales. He came on my channel and talked about this. There's a lot of us who are sharing about our journey and how we were basically, you know, forced into 12-step abstinent-only recovery, and it didn't work for us. It didn't work for us. And then when you say it doesn't work for me, they tell you, oh, it's because you're not doing it right. When you tell them that it doesn't work for you, they tell you, oh, it's because you're not willing enough. You must not be willing enough. You must not really want to change your life. Oh my God. Don't even get me started, y'all. Don't even get me started. It's like I could go, it really upsets me. It really, really upsets me, you know? Because of people like you, it makes it easier for others who can't or feel they can't be open about this. I'm so happy to hear that, Steph, because that's the goal. That's the goal. That's the whole purpose of me speaking about being on suboxone and sharing about my recovery on suboxone. The whole reason why I started making content was because I wanted to find other people like me, because I felt completely alone. Okay? I live in the Bible Belt. Y'all know I live in Little Rock, Arkansas. All the big recovery people here are AA God recovery people. And I believe in God, but I am not a religious person. You're not going to see me making a bunch of posts about how God saved me. Do I believe that God helped? Yes. But I believe that I saved me. I put in the work. If without me, it wouldn't have happened. Okay? And so I believe that He gave me the ability to change my life and helped support me through it. But I give myself credit for all that. You know what I mean? And so all the people here that are in the recovery, like, community and like in the recovery world that make content in Arkansas are like really religious and they're all in AA, and I'm just not. That's not my style. And so, I speak, and I'm not speaking against it. If AA and God works for you, 100% do what you got to do. I'm not shunning you for believing that. But I find it problematic that was the only option that was being offered to all of us for so many years. Like, that's so fucked up. You know what I mean? Found out that I'm expecting a third child, and I started going to the methadone clinic so I can keep my baby and stay sober. And oh wow, Amber, I'm really proud of you. Good job. If you like, so for people who are looking down on you, let me just ask you this, Amber. You can say this, I said this to them. You can tell them Nicole said this, okay? To the people who are looking down on you for choosing to get on methadone because you were addicted and pregnant, would they rather you have stopped using drugs cold turkey and your baby died? Would they rather you have stopped using drugs cold turkey, had a miscarriage, and your baby died? Because that's what could happen. If you quit using opioids cold turkey during pregnancy, it can kill your fetus. No! So, fuck them. That's what I have to say about that. You did what is right and safe. What is right and safe when you are pregnant and addicted to opioids or benzos is to go to a doctor and utilize help with that, because you will have to keep taking some sort of opioid. They're not going to titrate you off of opiates or benzos while you're pregnant. It can literally kill your baby. I lost a job, and after they ran a background check on me, they let me work 3 weeks and then fired me. And I haven't been in trouble in 19 years. I was 19 and I'm 38 now. Oh, I was so sad. I'm still paying my mistakes. 20 years less is hard. Oh, that sucks, girl. I hate that for you. I hate that. I feel like what companies are still running background checks? I feel like a lot of companies here where I live, like, hey, Neil, does Kroger still run background checks?
Do what?
No. Is Kroger still running background checks?
They weren't when I was there.
I feel like they stopped doing it, and they stopped doing drug tests too.
But I don't know now.
We don't know now, but I know a couple of years ago. Yeah, so I have a felony on my record for possession of a controlled substance, a Class C felony, methamphetamine, and I'm actually working on getting my record expunged. So I highly recommend you do the same thing, so that way you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Coming back to bite you in the end. But you can always get a job working in recovery. You can become a peer support specialist. That's a really great thing that a lot of people are doing, is getting their peer certifications. But, yeah, I have a lot of girls that reach out to me that are pregnant. So let's talk about that for a second. So if you're pregnant and addicted to stimulants like methamphetamine or cocaine, you can stop using methamphetamine or cocaine without your baby being hurt, okay? But if you're addicted to opioids or benzos, you have to go to a doctor and check with them. And I don't know how they do with benzos. I don't know if they titrate you or if they just give you a low dose during your I don't know. But I know that for sure with opioids, they will put you on a medication like suboxone or methadone to take while you're pregnant. And there's nothing to be ashamed of if you are doing that. That's the best thing that you can do to protect your baby. Okay? I used drugs throughout my whole pregnancy, and I'm not proud of that. It's the most shameful thing that I've ever done. I struggle to this day. I've been sober for 9 years, and I still don't forgive myself. I don't know if I will ever forgive myself, but I used drugs during my whole pregnancy, and I wish that I had found somebody like myself online talking about getting help while pregnant because I was afraid. I was afraid that if I went to get help while I was pregnant, that they would take my baby from me and that I would lose custody. And so I didn't go and get help. I hid my addiction my whole pregnancy. Not my OBGYN didn't even know that I was addicted to drugs. I hid my addiction my whole pregnancy. A lot of people always ask me, like, how did you hide your addiction? Every time I went to my OBGYN, I made sure that I peed clean. I didn't have drugs in my system when I would go see my OBGYN. That's how I made it through my pregnancy. And that's the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is, if you're struggling with an addiction, is to go to your OBGYN, let them know what you're struggling with, and have them refer you out to get the help that you need. That way, everybody's on the up and up, because when you go to have that baby, they're going to drug test you. They drug test all the people now when they have babies. So it's better safe than sorry. You know what I'm saying? I look back on it, though, and I beat myself up because I should have asked for help. I should have told people that I was struggling. My son is a miracle, okay? Because when I was pregnant with my son, I was addicted to methamphetamine, I was addicted to oxys, and I was addicted to Xanax, okay? And I did the complete most horrible thing you can do, and I stopped taking all those drugs cold turkey, and it could have killed my child. My baby could have died. Okay? I ended up relapsing on methamphetamine, and that's what I continued using during my addiction, during my pregnancy, was methamphetamine. And I ended up giving birth when I was high on methamphetamine. And a lot of people ask me about that. How did you give birth high on methamphetamine and they didn't take your son away? I don't know. I don't know. They didn't say anything to me about it. They didn't even say that they didn't even think I was on drugs, I guess. I don't know. All I know is that it was 2014 when my son was born, and I prayed to God. I begged God that day, please let me get out of this hospital. Please don't let them take my baby. And when I got out of the hospital, and they didn't take him from me. And so it was a miracle. There's no other way to explain it. It was a miracle or a terrible oversight on the hospital's behalf, okay? My son was born on a holiday. It was July 4th. So I believe that it was half a miracle and half the hospital dropping the ball, honestly. And I also believe that my higher power knew that if I lost custody of my son immediately, that I would never turn my life around. And so I believe that God knew that I needed to have my son so I could go home with him and have a relationship with him and bond with him. And I was able to do that. I was able to do that for the first 90 days that I was out. I was sober for 90 days. Do what?
God kept us in the fight for a little while so we would
bond, yeah. Yeah, I stayed sober for about 90 days, and then I relapsed. Neil relapsed after me. He didn't relapse right away with me. But, yeah. So, if you're somebody that's struggling and you're pregnant, please reach out for help. Find somebody that you trust, that you feel that you can tell what you're going through, that can help advocate for you, and that can help you find the help that you need, so that way your baby stays safe. Because I put my son in danger. My son could not be here today because of my actions, because of what I chose to do while I was pregnant. And I know that, and I take full responsibility for that. And I don't want anyone else to have to go through the fucking guilt and the shame that I still feel. It is torturing, okay? It's torture. Because there's not a day that goes by that I don't reflect on it. When I tell you this, there's not one single day in the 9 years that I've been sober that I don't think about the harm that I caused my unborn child. I think about it every day. So, you don't want to have to be living with that kind of guilt and shame. You want to have a good recovery and a good life. And so, if you're struggling with addiction and you're pregnant, reach out and get help now. So, anyways, I love you guys. I'm getting emotional. I don't want to cry. So, somebody ordered a necklace, and so I thought I would come on here and show you guys the necklaces that I sell. So I sell these necklaces, and I use a portion of the money to help other people in the recovery community that need medication-assisted treatment. And so I was just able to help somebody last week. They needed $40 for their appointment, so I was able to send them that money because of people like you guys who support my small business, which is this recovery necklace business. And this recovery necklace says, recovery is not about giving something up. Recovery is about taking everything back. And that's the quote that it says on the necklace. If you guys are interested in purchasing a necklace, you can purchase the necklace right here. I put all the links to everything. The Etsy store is at the bottom. It's the last link in that little link tree thing I just put in the comment section. So if you do order a necklace, you go through Etsy. I will message you the tracking number and all that, so you'll know that it's coming. But yeah, to those of you guys that have ordered necklaces this last week, I really appreciate you guys supporting me and helping me be able to help others, because I'm gonna be so fucking for real with y'all. I am not rich. And there are a lot of people that reach out to me every single day needing help with their mat recovery and stuff, and I cannot afford to send everybody $50 to $100. So this helps me be able to offset that so I can help more people. So I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream and hearing about, what, a little bit about my mat recovery. I'm very, very passionate about my mat recovery. It's something that's serious to me, and I don't take it lightly. And I think it's really, really important if you're comfortable with sharing, okay? If you're comfortable, I'm so glad I found you, girl. I have got to get ready to go live. I sell jewelry. Okay, Brittany, I'll see you later, girl. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Rachel, some people don't qualify for Medicaid, or they can't get signed up. And so there's so many different circumstances. And so those are the people that I usually reach out to me. The people that are homeless, they haven't been able to sign up for Medicaid, or they make too much money, but it's not their paycheck time, so they don't have the money at that time. It's all different stories, but I just don't ask questions. I just help. So, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, my mat recovery is really important to me, and I think if you're comfortable and you have enough, confidence to share your own journey about being on MAT, I think it's really important that we share our experiences to encourage and help other people out there, because there's so many more people out there that feel ashamed or feel alone, and so if we share our stories, it can help somebody else, Look at that distinguished gentleman. Hello, my beautiful baby. Rocky. Hello. Hello. Are you my beautiful boy? I love you.
I'm your beautiful boy.
Look how cute he is, y'all. Okay, do y'all remember I was telling y'all about his ears? Okay, let me see if you can see it. I don't know if y'all can see it. Oh, you can barely see it. It's just a little, nope. Oh. See that little pink scratch in there on this ear? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, can I have a kiss? Hey. Do you love me? Thank you. I don't know. They're stainless steel. Is that nickel, Amber? I'm not sure. They're stainless steel. They don't tarnish. I wear mine in the shower and everything. So they're pretty heavy duty too. They're really heavy also. I just know that they're stainless steel. I don't know if that helps at all. or not. But, yeah, so, I gotta get more organized. As this channel grows, as this channel grows, I am going to start interviewing people to come on and share their recovery stories. And I have people come on every now and then, but I really need to get organized and get like a weekly schedule going on. You know what I'm saying?
People that are serious too.
Oh, I love you too, girl. Yeah, and I don't want to just, like my husband said, I don't want to just platform anybody. I want people that come on my channel to be serious about their sobriety and to have beliefs that, you know, I want people to be like doing the right thing. And so I have to be careful sometimes because I'll slip up and just have people on, and then there'll be somebody that ends up being so not good. And so I got to do my research, you know what I mean? Oh, are any of you guys in, I've seen a couple of y'all, are any of you guys in that group, what is it called? Sober Motivation? Okay, it's a group, and literally every single time somebody posts in this group, you guys, it's like a sex scam, right? It's like girls that are posting saying, hey guys, I'm single, call me, in this group. And it's a group, and it has over 300,000 people in the group. And the last 2 days, all I've been seeing is people commenting and going, why are you guys letting these people post? And basically what it is, you know how there's like this new age group, sex workers. It's sex workers, and they do OnlyFans, and they do escorting in a way that they are able to get people to buy their OnlyFans or pay them to Sober Motivation, that's the group, and pay for their...
And they target like a sober...
They're targeting a sober group, and they're uploading their pictures and their WhatsApp numbers and all this in the sober group.
That's so fucked up.
I know, and it's prostitutes, is what it is.
People that aren't trying to get sober.
Right. They are not in recovery. They don't care about being in recovery.
Go about that way.
They join the group because it's a big ass group, and then they post their pictures with their low top. And I'm not talking about just regular girls that want to look pretty with their makeup on and they're like, I'm sober. I'm talking, you guys, they're literally scams, right? They're literally girls that are trying to get you to send them money, or hit their WhatsApp or hit their OF. And it's like,
they know that it's probably people that are teetering on.
Yes, and that's what's so fucked up about it, is that they're preying on these newcomers in this fucking group. And I'm just like, where are the mods and the admins for this huge group? That Sober Motivation group, I know that this guy named Brad used to run it. Brad McLeod, I think, was the owner of that group. And all the way back in 2016 when I first joined Facebook Recovery Community. And so I'm trying to he's still sober. I'm trying to reach out to him and find out, do you still run this group, dude? Because it's the weirdest shit. Like every day it's posts that are about people, I'm single, call me. And it's like, if you join my Facebook group, you guys, we're not about that. If I find out that you're trying to reach out to men or women in my group and you're trying to hook up with people, you will get banned from the group immediately. Immediately. This is not the fucking dating website. We have people who are new in recovery, who struggle with trauma, who may have childhood sexual abuse trauma, period. And if I catch people trying to prey on my newcomers in my group, it's off with your fucking heads.
You sound a dirty soft.
Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. I love you guys. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's all Discovering Nicole.
We'll call the nasty people dirty socks.
I will drop the links to all my socials right there in the comment section. Come over and hit me up on the other socials. And I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a really, really good day. Okay? Oh, I know, Rita. I've seen it. I've seen people doing that, and then they're like trying to sell drugs too. And I'm just like, if you guys ever have somebody comment that on my page, please tag me or message me so I can block them. If I see it, I'll just block them. Okay. All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Rocky.